My name is Keith, the Chief Executive at the Customer Experience Foundation and your host for today. For today's discussion, we're joined by Martijn Pelzer, Partner Manager at Vodafone Ziggo, and we will be discussing Freelancer CX models transforming contact centres beyond boundaries. We will have a Q&A at the end, so please do pop your questions into the chat as we go along and we will cover them at the end. Martijn, welcome. Pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you.
So can you sort of describe the journey that led you to choose a freelance model as part of your operational mix?
Yes, we had maybe it's good to have a short introduction. Martijn Pelzer, Partner Manager at Vodafone Ziggo in the Netherlands, and we have a challenge to get more capacity in our call centers. We already had some different partners, and we're looking for a new partner. And most important for us is that we have a good benchmark and really a challenge on the benchmark. And we get connected with a partner with a freelance model. First of all, I thought, is it a good model, or do we really have to choose this partner? But after we started and we start talking to each other, we see that this model can really disrupt the benchmark and disrupt the ordinary BPO business. So for us, this was a challenge to try it, to do it within the benchmark, and to make sure that we have enough capacity from regular BPO call centers, but also start trying how it works with freelancers. And the first results are amazing. Very good performance.
So talk us through some of the success you've had with this approach.
Some very important successes from freelancers is, of course, the flexibility, because you work with freelance, and sometimes you need additional capacity in some time frames, and that can work really good with freelancers. But most of all, and that's more important for me, is the quality, because you always get the best Asian talents in the market because they get paid as a freelancer, and they want to keep the job. They want to do the most of the hours they can work, and you get really a higher quality of talents of agents. So I in the Netherlands, I say you get really account managers for the job you need, and at the end it is profitable for everyone, because the talent or the agent, especially good talents or agents, get additional paid. Most important, it's good for the end customer, because you have a better quality of agent or talent who you speak with, and at the end it's also better for both companies, a company who have freelancers, but also of course for Vodafone Ziggo, because you can reduce the cost with freelancers. But most important, and that was not what I expected when we start with it, is the quality. You get really a high quality, and because we do everything with a benchmark, I really like to do a benchmark between different type of companies, and within the benchmark you see that a partner with freelancers most of the time have one of the best performance overall.
Amazing. Why do you think this seems to work particularly well for the telco sector, and what can other sectors learn from your approach?
You have different type of sectors and goals within the sector, but for us it is very important to have wonder and progress during every proactive customer connection. So it's not all based on cost. It's not based on sales or numbers. the basic is always the quality. And we believe that from when you start with quality and you start with a long-term relationship with partners, with clients, then you can grow together and make it happen. So sometimes you have companies who focus on short-term profitability or only high number of sales. But with freelancers, you have to make sure that you give them a long-term horizon to make it happen, to make it better. And I think that only can be with a high quality standard, and always to try to do it better every day and to challenge each other to become better. And maybe another typical part of our company is we really believe that when you are proactive to a customer, it's always better than wait till they contact you. So when you do an outbound call, you send an email, you send an SMS, everything you do to a customer to be proactive, it always gives them a better feeling, a higher NPS, a better quality standard, instead of waiting till they call you for an issue or an incident or too high bill or something else.
Right, okay. And how does this support flexibility? Because flexibility goes a number of ways. We often talk about flexibility for the agent, but this gives you flexibility as the client and flexibility for the partner too. How does that work?
Yes, because with freelancers, it's more easy to scale up and scale down. So you can, it's possible to pay additional for the hard hours that you can't get anyone they want to call for you. And with freelancers, it's much more easy to pay them more when you have a high capacity needs. But also, it's more easy to say today or this period we have less work and scale it down a little bit. But I think it is important to try to give them sort of stability, but with freelancers, you're much more flexible than compared to than have people on contract base, because then you have also the rules from contract, and that's not in a freelancer setup.
Okay, and you've got a variable pricing model. So how does this approach support that?
The pricing model is. It depends on the campaign, of course, that you have, but you can give a higher price for higher hours, because when you, for example, when you need a lot of people in the evening or in the weekend, you can pay more in that period. But at the end, a lot of companies with freelancers work with the model that the best freelancers are able to claim the first hours they need or they want to work, and with the way they work, you always get the best freelancers in the best hours, and that. At the end, that will increase the quality of the calls or the results of the call. It depends on the goal you have, but it increase the quality of the sales or the quality of the customer service. That's both possible. And at the end, the freelance model is much cheaper for a company compared to the ordinary BPO contact center. And you get a higher quality. So yeah, you have twice time profitability increase. So once on cost and once on the value.
Okay, really interesting. And I understand you use this across sales, service, and retention. Is that correct? Have you seen that flex across different sectors?
Yes, and how do you mean it?
So you're using it across sales, service, and retention. Do you
Yes.
see different levels of performance across those three channels, or is it particularly suited to one?
No. You see, for all the different channels, you have typical talents or agents who wants to work with, but at the end, within the benchmark, because we always like to do everything within a benchmark, you see that the freelance model is normally in the top of the benchmark, so in the top of the performance you have, and then that can based on a higher NPS or a higher value or higher conversion or lower cost. So that's the main topics you have in the benchmark. But at the end, you of course you have regular BPO contact centers with a good performance, with high employee engagement, good quality, and really think of the long partner relation. But they are a limited part. They are limited call centers who think in that way. The most easy way to get that is to work with freelancers, because when a freelancer don't get any money, it will stop themselves. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Okay, interesting. And thinking about quality here and performance, how do you manage to maintain a consistent level of service quality with the agents working remotely and also potentially across different time zones? How do you ensure that the quality remains high?
Yes, I think especially important word you use is that the talents or the agents are working remotely. So it's more easy normally to work with a group of people in one location and to try to get the best quality. But for example, especially for the freelance model, I think it's very easy to start a company and to start a freelance model, but I think it will not work because you have really to be aware that you not get Wolf of Wall Street. I think you know the movie. Wolf of Wall Street, sales focus with only a high focus on sales without any respect for the customer and the client. I think most important for the quality of remote working and a good working freelance model is the best-in-class tech solutions. For example, you can, when you have a really good tech environment, dialogue environment set up with your talents, and you really create an atmosphere that everyone works together. If they work from Brazil, China, or the Netherlands or England, I think then you can really create a team with the best quality and the best focus for the customer. And I know partners who use an AI tool for live coaching, live quality coaching to really increase the performance and the quality. So it's easy, I think, to start a freelance model as a company, but it is very hard to do it very good and to do it in the best way, the quality and for the best quality and in the way that it works.
Interesting. And what sort of metrics or KPIs are you using and prioritizing to assess the performance of this freelancer model?
Yeah, of course, quality, NPS. That's the basic. I think that's also the basic for a long-term relationship with our clients, but also for the clients with the partners. Then you have some sales KPIs. We have conversion. You have profitability or value, I think very important what I said earlier, when you be proactive to your customer and you call them before your customer, your end customer have the chance that they call you. Be aware that every question your customer has, tackle that question and solve the problem. And let's make that the start of looking forward to what are possible potential needs that a customer has to sell something, to increase the the value of the customer and increase the net promoter score of the customer.
Okay, interesting. And how does this benchmark to other models that you use in your operation? How does the freelancer stack up against more traditional delivery models in the contact center?
Like I said earlier, most of the time you see that the freelance model is number 1 or 2 in the benchmark. So it works really good, and I know it maybe it is a little bit how do you say? Maybe it is a little bit hard to start with it as a company to start working with a freelance model. But when you do it in a benchmark, you have a really good. You can really good compare the results with other partners or with your internal organization, and then you can see the effect of the freelance model. So I always say it's most important is that you really choose for something. When you choose for a freelance model and do it really good with the best-in-class tech solutions, with focus on a long-term relationship on quality, it works very well. But when you do this as an additional service within your own, within your other ways of working, then it will not work. And that's also for ordinary contact center. When you choose for high employee engagement, when you choose for quality, when you choose for long-term relationship, that works, that can work, and you can become number 1 or 2 in the calls in the benchmark. But when you don't have that focus, then it will be a very hard match for you.
Yeah. Have you had to adapt or develop your technology and tools to support and manage and coordinate a remote team?
Most of all, that's part of the partner, the technology and the way they work. So we of course we try to support them, but I think when you choose to outsource something, for example, a call center, or when you choose something else, one of the reasons you do that is because of you want the experience, you want that someone else tell us how we can do it in the best way for our end customer. And for example, for freelance model, we can't start that by ourselves. That's a very hard model, and it's very hard to do that really good. But when you set up a partnership and choose for outsourcing something, you do that because you expect that your partner can tell you how we can make it the best for our end customers, and how they can support us to do the best for our customers.
Really interesting. So that's all the good things. What are some of the challenges you faced with this model, and how have you overcome them?
One of the challenges when we start was, of course, we don't know what we have and how it will work. So we start, and we were really wondering if it works, and it also could be go wrong. So I think it's very important that you really think about which partner you choose to get this model. And at the end, the flexibility of freelancers is also the challenge you have when all the freelancers are gone. So sometimes we have campaigns that will not work, that are too hard, that is not a good campaign. And when we want to do that with freelancers, of course, freelancers say, no, I can't earn any money with this campaign. I don't. It's not a good campaign to do. And with a normal or ordinary call center or regular BPO, it's you can more easy say we pay you, just try and do it. And now we get very hard feedback on our own campaigns, or our own proposition, at our own customer service we have, and that's not always nice, but it is very good that we get that. So I think it makes us better to get harder feedback and really the voice of the talents, of the voice of the agents who said this is worked, this worked, this don't work, and we can't do that for this. We can't do that anymore. Let's try anything else. So it makes the work sometimes a little bit harder, but at the end it makes it better for our end customer.
Interesting. And how do you ensure compliance? With industry regulations, your own standards. How do you protect customer data when working with freelancers?
We have that all. Of course, we keep all the regulation in mind. We have everything within the contract with our partners who have all the freelancers, and that's all secured by our partners. So they do a check of the room is okay, remote. They have very good AI tools to check that the right person is on the line. Of course, we have a recording from everything we need to check it later when we need it. But that's all that's all by our partners, and that's all secured in contracts, and the partner knows what he or she do.
Okay. Thinking more now about impact outcomes, what are the significant differences in customer satisfaction or engagement that you've seen since transitioning to this freelance agent model?
I think the most important thing is that in the beginning, a long time ago, and that was not for the freelance model, but a lot of people focusing on one part. So, for example, you have an amount of customers you call, and you call that for a reason, for a service reason or upgrade reason or something else. But what you see with the freelance model, you get a higher standard of talents. You get more account managers, and we really try to get it more in an open conversation with our end customer, and looking for potential needs from the customer, potential that can be added value, but that can also be added service or some issues they have to make sure that we make the life of the customer better. And with freelance, you need a little bit of a way of thinking, a way of working, and you get that with the freelancers. You get a higher standard, and you get more an account manager role. And I think that's the most important thing to increase the quality and also increase the results.
How do you feel the freelance model supports the well-being and job satisfaction of the agents that are working on your behalf, even though they're with partners? Maybe not really the answer of your question, but for example, in the Netherlands, we have a very high pressure on the labor market, and a very low supply of job seekers in the Netherlands. And with the solution with, for example, freelancers, but also some regular BPOs, they start working international. And when you work international with native Dutch speakers, you can bring work to places where the labor market is not has not the pressure that we have in the Netherlands. You can make it happen that people can work from home where they want, and I think that's a very good
way to help the Dutch market and also to help people in other countries where you maybe get less career opportunities.
Really interesting. Thinking about the future now, what future trends do you think you're going to see in the contact center industry, and how do you think you might adapt your model accordingly?
I think you get more and more focus on quality. Like I just said, the Wolf of Wall Street sales focus. I think that's something that was in the past, and there may be some small companies who still has that, but I think that's not the future. That there will be regulation that will stop. And I really believe that outbound calling can grow and will grow, and instead of inbound calls, because there will be ever people that want to talk with humans. They don't want to have chatbots or AI. Of course, some questions you can answer with chatbots or AI is something else. But there always will be people that.
Right.
There always will be people that want to talk with you, with human people, and then it's very important for a company that you be proactive. Look with AI in your data. What can I see from our customer? What do they do? What do they need? Is there something that he or she looks up? Are there some potential technical issues or other issues? Are the open bills or something else? But be proactive and call your customer before your customer calls you. That will be increase your customer satisfaction, and at the end it will be increase the long-term relationship with your end customer.
Really interesting. And finally, what advice would you give to other businesses that might be considering a freelance model in their contact center?
I think when you want to do it, really look good to which partner you want to have for a freelance model, and make sure that the tech solution is very good. That is very important. I'm always a fan of benchmarking. So give it a chance with a small part of your business, benchmark it and see what happens. And at the end, I always say results count. So words are sometimes beautiful, most of the time, but results count. And make a benchmark, create an open benchmark, very transparent benchmark for every partner you have or your internal organization. And let's see what happens. But don't be too afraid to try it.
Amazing. And Martin, thank you very much. It's been fascinating having you with us today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and insights. I'd like to thank everyone that's joined us today, and a huge thank you again to Martin for joining me. And we hope to see you next time at the Customer Experience Foundation.